dance, dance. Let's go. Yeah. What is mine, that is yours. You can't hold my lamb. Yes, I own my land. Stacking this paper, you know that I get it up. I can't be broke again. Tucking that shit in that Glock, you gon' hit it up. Headshot, soak his man. My chopper get hot, just like a pan. Got the headlights, just like a ram. I got 10 toes and I counted 10 fingers, so I do not need a helping hand. Monopoly crib, I'm moving again. Got your bitch on me, she grooving again. Won't cut them again, I just give them a reason to hate. So my nigga shooting again. My creep, my roof, drop that shit again. She saw my dick, then she mopped up my friend. No, we do not wanna feel too again. When she let me go, I'm on the loose again. She on the molly, she tryna boot again. She ain't in mine, this girl is a lend. I prayed every time when I thought you sent. I write in my mind, I don't use a pen. She giving me time, my watch calls a lamb. Just give me more time, other watch calls a Benz. Look at Lil Uzi, he popping again. Them niggas, they switching, they hopping again. Look at them niggas, they hopping again. She giving that top and she slopping again. Look at this album, it's flopping again. Not taking a break, I'm not stopping again. Too much guap, bands, bellow, foreign, tan. She ignored that man, fucking with me, handstand. I can't lie, she got that good, but that girl, bad. I stay with her, back, make that girl dance. Let's go, yeah. What is mine, that is yours. You can't hold my lamb. Yes, I own my land. Stacking this paper, you know that I get it up. I can't be broke again. Talking that shit, then that Glock, you gon' hit it up. Headshot, soak his man. Spent 100,000 on a brand new point on Choga. Automatic guns got a motor. I can feel that shit in my shoulder. Brand new watch cost a quarter, and you know it's flooded in water. You know every day I'm getting older, but I'm young enough for your daughter. And you know my neck is flooded in boulders. Getting money, yeah, that's my quota. Even though Lil Uzi getting older, know I'm young enough for your daughter. Every time I'm in my mind, I focus. She give me head hypnosis. Talking about the love can't hold it. Talking about the guap can't fold it. Talking about your mind, you don't own it. Yeah, just take your time and gotta decode it. Yeah, it's on my mind and they just know it. Yeah, fast pace all the time. Yeah, I can't so much. Yeah, bands, bellow, foreign, tan. She ignored that man, fucking with me, handstand. I can't lie, she got that good, but that girl, bad. I stay with her, back, make that girl dance. Let's go, yeah. What is mine, that is yours. You can't hold my lamb. Yes, I own my land. Stacking this paper, you know that I get it up. I can't be broke again. Talking that shit, then that Glock, you gon' hit it up. Headshot, soak his man.
Today, we're going to talk NBA and NHL playoffs, go over Dinger Tuesday plays, and we got to cash the squad ride. This is Behind the Lines. Davey Martinez has to go. He is not a good coach. He wasn't a good coach in 2019. He got carried by Howie Kendrick, Juan Soto, Ryan Zimmerman. Davey Martinez has not done shit for this team. He is a bad manager, and it is showing right now. What's wrong with cracking a V8 during the Caps game?
Cracking a V8, dude?
Down, trying
is
to
this a Coors Light, Krabs? It's vegetable juice.
Yeah.
Like going home and saying, I'm just going to crack a V8 while watching the Caps game. Like, you need to be put in an asylum. You know, the fastball heavy approach gets a Mets team that is just crushing baseballs and getting no results, not just yesterday, but the whole lineup has been hitting the ball hard and had nothing to show for it, especially recently. Now you get a fastball heavy Ryan Nelson that has his struggles against lefties, and you have a lot of those guys that have been extremely unlucky that are going to see him from the left side.
Bringing in George Pickens. Surely this works out for the Dallas Cowboys. Surely bringing in another veteran here who's toxic, cancer in the locker room, a me guy. Surely that helps out this Cowboys team that already has plenty of those. Jerry Jones, my man, you did it again. What is going on, chat? Happy BTL Tuesday, episode 702 piece. As always, hold the fry, joined by your two hosts, Krabs and Jovan, presented by SeatGeek. If you guys are going to the ballpark this weekend, where are you getting your tickets? Easy answer. Simple question. You're going to fucking SeatGeek. It's really that fucking easy, folks. Go to SeatGeek. Go buy your tickets, put in promo code Bookit10, and get a discount on your future purchases. We got some sub bangs coming in. Sure we can. Yes, we are back. We got Peyton 402 coming in resubbing. Dave Martinez's burner coming in hot. What a day, gentlemen. Let's win coin. Yep. Yesterday felt weird with no natitudes. So we're back. We got late night nats going on tonight. Could be the difference. 2 words, chat. Late night nats. Okay. BJ Cheek coming in hot with a resub. Sure you can, BJ Cheek. We got a treasure train going. I don't know what that is, but I like it. We got a treasure train going on Twitch right now. Is that a first? Is that new?
Probably not, but I haven't seen it. I don't know what it is.
How about a treasure train to start the day off right? Sure we can. Try saying that 5 times fast. All right. W's, chat. We will talk about the Colorado trip here in a moment. Going over the chats. W Adrian, W Vibes. Adrian was buying us drinks left and right on Friday night.
go.
The first night we were there, giving us some great vibes and great hospitality out there in Denver. So, yeah, we had a W trip out there, gents. New train just dropped. Sure we can, Pega. W new train. Yeah, let's talk about it for a sec before we get into the recaps. Jovan, you're not even in your home base right now either, but we appreciate you making some time while you're back home in Tampa for BTL. But yeah, great weekend. I know we missed you out there in Coors. Stadium was cool. Is it the coolest stadium of all time? Probably not. But was it above average? I'd say it's an above average stadium. I would. We got some other stuff coming out this week as well, some other food reviews and shit like that. Make sure you guys stay tapped in. Okay? W. Adrian. Yeah, he was buying us drinks left and right. If you guys don't know, $3 beers before the game in center field. Up there in Coors Field. Pretty cool. Yeah.
That's sick.
Now, they're tiny beers, but they are drafts.
Yeah.
Draft Coors Light or draft Bud Light. And it plays. $3. I mean, come on. $3 for a drink at a ball game in the Big 2-5?
Let me ask you, if you had that or had those beers, could you do the $9.99?
Would certainly give me a realistic chance.
Absolutely.
I would have had a much better opportunity to get that done at Coors than down there for the Dollar Dogs in the Rangers Stadium. The Rangers Stadium's just not built for it, to be honest with you.
Not built for it.
Rangers Stadium, it's it's quantity over quality with the food down there, although I've seen some pretty good items as well. We'll check it out when I'm down there next time. The Boomstick, right? And I've seen like $100 plates of barbecue that look delicious down there at the Rangers Parks. But besides that, I feel like it's quantity over quality. Maybe I'm just biased with the Dollar Dogs that are legitimately green, right? That's probably what it is. The other food's fine. But yeah, $3 beers, Chaco, before the games. And they've got, just like Nats Park has the Budweiser Loft in center fields. They've got the same thing going on up there in Denver. So if you guys are ever out there trying to go to Coors Field, go to a game, make sure you go out there to right center field. You got to walk up some stairs. And I'll tell you what, it was not easy getting up there with the altitude and shit. You could feel it. It was tough. And maybe it was all the beers and the shots we took before the game. That also could have been it as well. But yeah, great vibes up there before the game. The game was obviously, the first 2 days I went in there with some confidence and I got absolutely punched in the jaw by Aaron Judge. Let's just go ahead and get right to it. Punched in the jaw. Like round one knockout from Aaron Judge. I mean, one of the at-bats was legitimately in the first inning. Yeah. The second home run on day two. But let's talk about day one first. Okay. We planned out the videos. We had meetings beforehand. All I had to do was sit my ass in the fucking seat, Jovan. That's all I had to do. Just sit there and react. And I got thirsty. Shit, I got hungry. I wanted a pretzel. I wanted a beer. And it took forever. And when I got back, Aaron Judge had already hit a fucking nuke. And yep, that's the most expensive pretzel you guys can buy, Goots. That's a $250 pretzel. Yep. And then I took my anger out on that delicious pretzel. It's a goddamn shame. Day two. I mean, even worse, to be honest with you. We walk right in on day two. He hits a fucking home run in his first at-bat. I guess it was better. I didn't have to fucking wait. Just get it over with, right? First at-bat, Nick. Oh. Opposite field, pretty much where we were sitting on day one as well. A little bit to the left, but still. It felt like a fuck you. A personal FU from Aaron Judge is what it felt like. The guy just flips his bat out there, Jovan. Next thing you know, it's a 400-foot home run to Oppo. How does he do it? I don't know. And then we wake up on Sunday. I'm peeping the odds. And I'm thinking, am I looking at the right game? We got Senzatella on the bump, who's dog shit, throwing footballs around before the game like he's an NFL QB. I wonder why the guy sucks. Playing the wrong fucking sport before a game. Jovan, Judge is minus 220 to not hit a home run on Sunday. And I'm thinking to myself, number one, is this even correct? Am I looking at the right game? And number two, if it is, we're in business. But I certainly had to depot a little bit more. A rack. Just to get back to close to breaking even. A rack. Yeah. Minus 220. And what do you know? It's the nastiest game of all time. There's a rain delay. I can't believe they even put him back out there after the rain delay. I thought they were just going to yank him, and the bet would be the easiest bet of all time. No, they put him back out there. They put him in risk of danger, risk of getting injured. He goes back out there. He actually gets another sneak at bat in the 9th inning as well, Jovan, after I'm telling Goots 100 times he's done. He's not getting another at bat. What do you know? He does. And they intentionally walk him. The perfect ending to that series. The perfect ending to fade and judge every game. The old intentional walk that I've been screaming from the mountaintops to just walk him every fucking at bat anyways, Jovan.
You should.
Just walk him every AB. Yes. Or at least don't throw him fucking meatballs right down the middle like every other team. I don't get it. Walk the guy. Get the other 8 guys out. It's the only fucking chance you have, or at least other 7 guys. Goldschmidt's not getting out either. Those guys are guaranteed base knocks every time up there at the dish. And Goldschmidt was locked in this weekend too. Beach balls. They're seeing him, man. They're seeing him. Shout out Sam Oliver coming in hot. Resubbing as well. W. Sam. Sure we can. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Let's have a week, shall we? Yes, sir, Sam. Why not us? We got a big week on the horizon. We got PLL this weekend. Okay, what else we got going on? We got late night Nats going on tonight and this week.
No way. There's no way we're putting that in the week outline here.
Or it was on a 3-game win streak.
We got Goots making those graphics again for old time's sake.
Really bad.
Sure we can.
Really bad.
What else? There's something else going on now this week that I'm missing. What am I forgetting about? Shit. It'll come to me. But yeah, we got the PLL getting going this weekend. Vanisk. Sure we can. I'm excited. Jovan, what's wrong with Tatis? He looks lost out there. Gosh, he does.
Yeah, he's had like a bad week.
Yep. Terrible week.
Started doing his little like leg kick again, which he stopped doing, and that's why he was hitting as well as he was start the season. So once he figures that out, he'll be fine. But he is kind of cold.
Okay. He's a little cold right now. Yep. We'll be seeing winners. Yes, sir, Vanisk. Rowdy Rhymes will be boots on ground at tonight's Rangers game. Let's fucking go, Rowdy. Attaboy. Sure we can. North Carolina got robbed by Auburn. SEC biased. Yeah, we're going to need you to lock in for college baseball coming up. When does that start?
College baseball committee needs to hang them up. Regional start Friday, yeah. So I guess add that to the week outline. But there is a lot of questionable decisions of who got in and who didn't host.
Trent, he said he's going tonight, man. How many times does he have to fucking beg you to go to a game with him, man? Just go to the game and get a picture with him. Jesus. Sack up, Trent. Grow a pair. All right, it's not about you. It's about Rowdy. Yeah, we got Yaxel coming back to Michigan.
Yeah, that's
kind of blown he's going to a blue blood in Michigan. Would love him to come back to UAB, but we take it, right?
Yeah,
at least we get to sweat him out for another year in college. Sure. W. Canadian Goots. Krabs, glad the last day fading judge came through. So am I, Joshy. So am I. Or else I was going to have to sell plasma before heading back on the plane. I was telling the group chat that earlier today. Yeah, the money was getting low. It was sparse after those first 2 days, but had to lock in and absolutely wail Aaron Judge not to hit a nuke. He was never hitting a nuke. He was never hitting a nuke on Sunday.
Plasma.
On the Lord's Day. He was never hitting a nuke. Minus 220 after he hits back-to-back home runs. That was all I needed to see. Oh.
It's unbelievable.
W followed too much sauce. I'll tell you what as well. They don't have that market in Colorado. The less than home run market. They do back home, so I had to have my buddy place it, but he was giving me shit, and I don't blame him. He was like, dude, it's minus 220. Are you sure you want to lock it in? I'm like, dude, I know it's not about that. Okay, it's about just beating Aaron Judge. It's
the principle.
As that. It's not about the odds. Yeah, it's the principle. Lock that shit in, but I could tell he was disappointed. I don't blame him. He was disappointed. Minus 220? But when I saw those odds, I knew we were in business. Goots, what else am I missing about the Colorado trip? We went to Tom's Watch Bar. That place is pretty cool.
Yeah, Tom's Watch Bar sick.
We got badass coffee like every morning.
Every morning.
The breakfast spot around. And
go to coffee.
Really good coffee spot. The ice cubes are coffee, not
coffee
ice
cubes.
Pretty cool.
Coffee
Krabs, can you talk about?
So when it melts, Jovan, it's just coffee.
Yeah, you get 2 coffees in one.
Sick.
Yep.
That's sick.
Krabs, can you talk about how you were watching Judge behind the foul pole? Rough to see those home runs. Well, luckily that was the day where I didn't even see the home run anyways because I was going up and getting a pretzel and a beer. But yeah, those seats were fine. Maybe they didn't look too good in the video, but I mean, those seats were great. Row 1.
Yeah, we weren't trying to get like the greatest seats. We were trying to catch a home run ball, right? So
Yeah, we
were
were
looking for those.
I actually spent probably an hour picking out those seats, and I
Yeah.
could not have picked worse seats. There was not a home run ball even close to us, to be honest with you, dudes. Not even one in the same vicinity, same section, same part of the field.
Nope, not close.
To be
Should have
honest
hit
with you.
up Zach Hampel for some advice.
We were looking for him.
Bro, we were
Find
looking,
'em.
and there were so many kids running around, and
Well, did you see
Look, they're
that
little
thing?
kids.
I think I
they get,
put it under your tweet. He got like yelled at in Colorado because they actually told him to sit down and stop running everywhere. So I don't know if he ever goes back there anymore.
wow, he might be thrown in the towel. I didn't know that. Okay. Any grown adults with gloves on? Yeah, there were some. There were certainly some. There always are. Every park you go to. I don't know. It was interesting vibes out there. I called it fake sharp a little bit. Like on the surface, everything looks really nice, but then you get up close to it out there, and it's not. But, you got all different types of people, all different, sports fans, non-sports fans out there in Denver, right? It's very open out there, and, you got a lot going on. We learned that when we were just walking around, but we heard some baseball fans there. We heard some legitimate fans yapping behind us during the games. And to be honest, maybe it was just the Yankees effect, but they packed up that stadium. Now, I will say, walking around the city,
Pack up every stadium.
it was kind of a ghost town overall. It was not very crowded. And maybe we just weren't walking, in the most, crowded parts. Who knows? But they packed up that stadium. I mean, they were like sold out almost on Friday nights. And then the weekends, they had, over 36,000 people. I was impressed. So they did pack up that place. It wasn't too loud, and it wasn't, the most action-packed city, but overall it was solid. I was joking with Goots, calling it fake sharp, but we had a great time out there, and, I'm not opposed to, places not being super crowded. It makes it easier to get a fucking table at Tom's Watch Bar or whatever, wherever the hell you want to go. So it played, it paid. Overall, Goots, I'd say it was a very solid trip, and thank God Aaron Judge did not hit a nuke on Sunday. Thank God. Thank God.
It's huge.
Got a couple other videos coming out as well this week, guys, so stay posted. And if you don't mind, if you guys haven't seen the vids we've already put out, make sure you guys drop a like on those puppies. Leave a comment. It helps more than you know. Okay? But yeah, W trip overall, and W hospitality from Adrian and some of the other goats who came up and said what's up when we were out there. There's always people coming up saying what's up.
Yeah.
Makes us feel good. We got Z Brownlee coming in resubbing. Let's go, Z Brownlee. Atta baby. Sure we can. Sure we can. All right. Why don't we hop in, do some recaps, talk about some plays for today. We do have a lot to go over. Enough yapping about the trip at W Trip. Let's go ahead and recap Thursday's plays, I believe, here. Canes ML.
Canes.
Hey. Held it down pretty good without you until that one, Jovan. It was never the Canes. Ever.
JJ.
Ship that. Although they came through last night.
They did come through last night for you. Yes, you're net positive with it.
At plus 150. I would, I wish I could cash the squad ride and not, the useless bet last night, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Krabs, please ask Rowdy where his seats are. Rowdy, where are your seats, bro? Let us know what section you sitting in. What's Rowdy's section? I wouldn't be surprised if that puppy's already sold out, though, Trent. Hopefully you can get lucky and find some seats close to him. Let us know, Rowdy. I know you're lurking in here in chat. What section are you in, bro? Section 136, row 3. Sure you can. W Rowdy. And W Pega. Thanks for holding it down, Beast. We got Big Bubs coming in hot as well. Resubbing Jovan. Sure he can. He says, let's have a damn day. Why not us?
Big Bubs.
Why not us? Let's go, Big Bubs. And yeah, Rowdy batting leadoff. Rowdy might as well be playing in this fucking game today. Sitting in the third row, 126. Sure he can. Let's go, Rowdy. All right. Let's lock in. Pega, what's up, Beast? His next 3 series, he didn't hit a home run in the other team's stadium like after Colorado. Yeah, wouldn't that be something? We'll see. Could have used a home run last night from him for that over, but he was just taking dog shit swings. All right. What else do we have to recap here? Gootsy, I think the sharp report from last Thursday. Yep, Trevor Williams is bad at ball, and Gunnar Henderson, that game did not happen. It got rained out.
Took Gunnar less than a single?
Gunnar less than a single, yes.
How did that one get up there?
And correct me if I'm wrong, Goots, but I'm pretty sure that shit smacked the next day. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think so. He hit a double. I don't think.
Because
Yeah,
remember we were watching in the
yeah,
hotel, and I was
I,
like, bro, he hit a fucking double,
yeah.
not a single.
I think it did cash in the game that it would have been if it didn't get rain out. Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Sure. Don't let the O's get hot. It might be too late.
Yeah, it might be. I don't think so.
Jovan not impressed with the plays. I mean, yeah, they went 1-3.
I mean, it wasn't the fact that the gunner was gray. I was so confused. I didn't look at it or hadn't seen
Get
the
it
plays
greened out.
till then.
Yeah, greened out single square.
We had a
When they've been
wholesale
putting
job.
those up.
Wholesale job.
Yeah.
Wow.
When they've been putting those up, they've been freebie less thans.
Wow.
Like when they put up single merchant Freddie Freeman up there once a week, it's like the one time a week he doesn't get a single. It's super weird. So when you see it go up there in that category, take that less than. Next thing you know, you're rich.
Sure.
All
All
right, let's keep moving and grooving here. We got Turner Mac coming in hot with a resub. Let's go, Turner Mac. Atta baby. Turner Mac getting involved. Great day to hit all of our bets. Yes, sir, Turner Mac. Why not us? 2 words, bro. Why not us? All right. Dubs, enough recapping. I believe we got to everything. Why don't we go ahead and hop in to the sharp report for today? We could talk about some of our favorite winners, favorite plays on the books, and then we will get to the prize pick squares as well. We got to cash a sharp report 4-man for today, but let's get it started with the Braves on the money line. Jovan. We got Spencer Strider, who owns the Phillies, up on the bump in that 6 ERA. He's had one hell of a season, not in a good way. He's gone through injuries. He's come back and gotten hurt immediately right off the rip. When he came back in his last start, he was getting mucked up. He looked like a shell of himself. He was throwing 92 miles an hour. Did not look great. But that's kind of what to expect, I guess, when a guy comes back from multiple injuries. He's not going to look like himself right away. And hopefully today, and looking at the odds, looking at his prize pick squares as well, I'm starting to think that he might go out there and shove today. He might go out there and lead the Braves to victory. The Braves have lost 4 of their last 5 games. And although all the excitement with Acuna back, sure, he hits a home run in his first game back. That was fucking sick. First at bat. That was awesome. He's him. We're going to need him tonight to come through. But seeing Atlanta catch 5 cents of steam in this spot, now I'm starting to see some minus signs next to the ML for them. That's fucking weird against one of the best teams in baseball at home for the Phillies as well. 34-19 on the season. And Suarez has been damn near unhittable in his last 3 outings. He had one terrible outing coming back from injury, got mucked up, had like a 13 ERA after that start. But since then, I mean, he has been unhittable, Jovan, in those last 3 outings. I don't even know if he's given up a run in those last 3 outings. He's legitimately been almost unhittable. Well, looking at some of his squares today against the Braves lineup that's seen him a lot. I think potentially it's, his second worst starts. You're probably not going to have a worse start than that first one, but second worst start of the season for Ranger Suarez, who also is still coming back from injury as well, but a little bit ahead of Spencer Strider, who I think we see his best, which is not saying much the way his season's gone, but I think he goes out there and shoves, does enough. He's got a pretty high strikeout line as well compared to what he's done this season, and he always has good success, knock on wood, against the Phillies, and maybe that's why the Braves are, we're starting to see minus signs next to their ML. I think that's absolutely ridiculous. I know there's a Braves tax. I know, the odds makers know and think that they're better than they've been playing. I get it. But on the road against the best team in baseball, debatably, or at least the best team in this division, the Phillies, who are red hot right now, I know they're coming off a loss, but before that, they were ripping off, a bunch of wins in a row. So pretty weird and pretty telling, in my opinion, looking at the odds for this game, Jovan. And I want to back Strider's 6 ERA against red hot Suarez, red hot Phillies. I think this is a pretty good look on the ML, and the Braves keep catching steam.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's just like Ranger had, like you said, the really bad start when he first came back from injury, then started to settle in, and Strider is on the same timeline. I think definitely helps that he gets to see his 9 sons and the house he built. Today he has been unreal against the Phillies every time he goes out there. So now I think you're going to get more of that, especially when you need it coming off of that first start back.
We're getting some Phil's Utley nugs in the chat. That could be the difference.
Yeah,
Strider owns them in the regular season, but shits the bed in the playoffs. Yep. Well, let me check my calendar real quick. Yep, this is still the regular season. Could be the difference. Because we know Strider, he could be considered a regular season merchant. Well, Luckily, that game tonight is in the regular season. We're going to need him to go out there and shove like he typically does against the Red Hot Phils. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, a lot of hate for this play in the chats. Okay. Wow. We'll see how it plays out, folks. Acuna taking Ranger deep. There's one. There we go, Billy. And people already hating on the Stars play. We'll come back to it. And yes, Gabe, there is a Braves tax still in the Big 2-5. That's why when you look at their odds, they still get more respect than they probably should. And they probably won't wear off this season, to be honest with you. They've been a fucking wagon, a dynasty over the last couple of years. That kind of shit doesn't just go away with one bad season. So maybe as the year goes on, we'll see it wear off if they keep sucking and they're under 500. But I doubt that's the case. They probably start to get going here, and that respect we're seeing from the odds makers is probably for a reason. All right.
Yeah.
Let's swing it around. Jovan, I want to hear your first play of the day today. What do you got?
Let's run with a little over, Krabs. I think you're at least with me on one side of this because we have Tanner Bybee, who is not only coming off of a gem, but he's a very matchup-dependent pitcher. Like the Dodgers are a tough matchup for anybody, but for him especially, like he relies so much on his fastball command, which is 3 different ones are like 75% of his arsenal. So like you rely so much on your fastball command, which is why against lineups that don't hit it very well, he's able to have really great outings. And against any lineup that hits it, as well as the Dodgers do or close to it, he's really, really bad. That's why there's the level of variance that there is. Like now, not only the fact that he's coming off the gem, and I would be pretty inclined to fade him anyway. You got a total going up from 8.5 to 9 with him at home where he has been really good. But again, you're a fastball dominant pitcher. You need to have success with your fastball to succeed in any outing. That doesn't work against the Dodgers. And pitchers that have come, with that attack against them, they have gotten drilled nearly every single time, which is the same recurring cycle that we see. So if you go more off speed, cool. If you're Bybee and you do that, that hasn't worked when you did that once this year. It's when you've gotten somebody really bad outings. If you want to go fastball dominant like you are 99% of the time, you're going to get hit up, especially by the top of that lineup, obviously, with how good they are and how well they hit the fastball. But even the bottom of the lineup, like there's a lot of trouble waiting to happen. So I think Bybee gets drilled. Dustin May is just also a guy that I don't really trust, period. I know he has some weird squares up today, and I think he can get drilled or not get drilled, and this still kind of lean itself to the same script just because the similar things, like when Dustin May doesn't have his command, especially against the lineup that makes life as tough on you as the Guardians do, he can lose it very quickly as well. And I think this is more of a Bybee and co bet than more so Dustin May and like the bullpen for Dodgers. But I think there's a situation where the Dodgers offense comes out, and if they do see Bybee well, they can cover it themselves. But I do think the Guardians are not going to be completely dead against Dustin May either. It's probably what the odds are telling you as far as the game goes.
What's up, Easy Puck? Good to see you lurking in the chat. What's up, Sade Whiteman, coming in, giving out 5 subbies. Let's go, Sade. Dude, Sade's been coming in here spoon-feeding subbies the last couple weeks. Let's go, Sade. Sure we can.
Sade.
Sure. What's up, Pip? How we doing, Pip? Don't be afraid to get the people going in the chat, Pip. Get them hyped up. Get them fired up. BTL's back. Okay? Jovan, how's that Willie B card been in the show?
I haven't been
Ryan's
back yet.
Important questions.
Gonna have to wait a couple more days before I get back and get it. But I need to start.
What's up, Young Burner season?
With it.
Ooh. Sure we can. What's up, Sidearms? Mogman, good to see you, Goats, lurking. Ron, I know you're bricked up for the PLL this weekend. Rumor has it we got the debut of Ron's new PLL Spaces tomorrow.
Wow.
Rebranded.
Legacies.
Ready for season number 2. What's up, Remy Low? Ooh. I'm excited for the PLL Spaces. I'll be popping in there tomorrow. Ron, please hit me up, dude. You're not bugging me. Make sure you hit me up to go in that Spaces. Okay? C-Dot, what's up, Beast? Ooh. What's up, Took It with Brent? How we doing, boys? Do we have a Willie B jersey? Probably not yet, right?
No. Might have to get one up there in Cincy.
Yeah. Yeah. Literally. Might have to get the City Connect.
Dude, I can barely find an Ellie City Connect jersey a majority of the time. I haven't looked recently.
Might have to be in person then.
Yeah. I was like, I remember they had some at like the little shop in Wrigleyville, and I haven't seen one online available for purchase when I was looking for it forever. Maybe there is now. I haven't looked, but sure as hell didn't look for Will Benson after that.
Yeah, Cam Carter, I guess we could pull all of our money together and take Judge less than a home run and all retire afterwards, but some might say there's a little risk involved. Slim Smith, Krabs, thoughts on Hassel? Hey, it's not just Hassel. It's also Dalen Lyle. He's getting called up, making diving plays, web gems, and, getting some base knocks as well. The Nats got some good young pieces, man. They got some good young pieces. Speaking of the Nats, Jovan, I apologize. I know we're in the middle of the sharp report here, but
you were speaking of the Nats right now.
Might have to just do it.
Dude.
Might have to just do it here. I saw the most ridiculous thing on my feed this morning, and I got to talk about it. Goots, I don't know if this is going to fuck everything up, man, but...
Dude.
Is it going to fuck everything up? I'm trying to show the people this tweet that I put in the outline. In the outline, and I put it in the chat. Maybe we'll bring that up later. We'll circle back. Nats grooming Wood to replace Judge in a few years. Okay. Brady House hit a nuke. I mean, yeah, he's him. He's fucking good. All right, we'll circle back to that. We got a lot to get to today. We got the Sharp Report. We got Dinger Tuesday. We got to talk playoffs. Got a lot going on. Yeah, Mahoney, stick around for this one. You're going to want to hear it. Jovan, why don't we talk about the Pacers? We're here. What do you like about Indy bouncing back after blowing that game the other night?
Well, I'll say the same thing that I told you about these two playoff games tonight. It seems like the book's already out on what's going to happen in both of these series. Like after, when you're talking about the Stars, after the Oilers won that game in as convincing fashion as they did over the weekend, it seems like people are already penciling in the Oilers with as much certainty as they are with the Panthers right now into the Cup rematch. And same seems to happen. I've heard the same exact comment 50,000 times on this Pacers-Knicks series, which you said the Knicks had their massive comeback in Game 3. You let them get one. Now the Pacers are cooked because you're going to have them get this one. Then you're going to be headed back to New York where, the Knicks have struggled, but it's a side, and we'll leave that for then. I don't think that's going to happen. Like the fashion that they won that game was not on the back of adjustments. It was on the back of shot making. It was on the back of a lot of defensive confusion, a lot of miscommunications, which I think are going to be fixed in this game as far as a coaching aspect goes. But it's also like a lot of the perimeter shooters for the Pacers, when they needed it the most, didn't step up, and they weren't getting to their action to get them the ball nearly as much down the stretch, which if you've seen Pacers basketball over the course of these playoffs, that is extremely irregular. That's how they've gone along a lot of their runs to make their own personal comebacks of that size, and they did the first game against the Knicks. But it was a lot of ISO ball from guys that are not named like Pascal Siakam, which I thought was very odd down the stretch. So that's something that I think after watching the Pacers for as many games we have in the playoffs, that's going to be corrected. Because again, that's what they've done. That's been their bread and butter. They're like the quintessential team. Like we've seen that so many different times. So like now going up against this Knicks team that you've seen already, again, they're fake tough. They're not physical. Whenever you put them in like this team scenario where you put Jalen Brunson, fighting words, and Jalen Brunson and Cat on the same floor at the same time is a defensive liability. That's why you've seen when one of them's off the floor, either of them, when Brunson's on, Cat's off, or when Cat's on, Brunson's on. It's one of some of their best productive lineups. But when they're both on the floor at the same time, it's one of the worst combinations that we've seen in the playoffs all year. And that's not an exaggeration. That's a literal data point that was flying around. But now you have that, and you have a Pacers team that's looking for adjustments, looking to shoot better down the stretch, and you got a line that's in the same exact spot as it was after that colossal collapse in Game 3. What do you think is going to happen here? Because I'll tell you what, I've heard, like I said, the same exact line about people talking about this being the game you couldn't let the Knicks get. They got it. Now it seems like the series is headed into a very dark direction for the Pacers, but I'm still seeing the same -2.5, -2, depending on where you look. I'm going to be on that side.
Okay. Like the play. Is it my favorite play today? Probably not. Did you just kind of sell me, though, and sway me over on the Pacers? Yep. Did I already kind of want to take them after blowing that game in Game 3, I believe it was? Yep. I did. And after hearing you talk about it, I still think I'm with you. I like the Pacers. Not my favorite play of the day, but I do like that they're at that same line that was cake the other night. People will probably be running it back, saying the Knicks are back. I hope Mikey's not listening right now. It might be the Pacers' night. They're starting to just feel like a team of destiny, man. They really are. And after blowing that last one, they might bounce back. They might. All right, I got the YouTube chat up as well. Don't think I'm leaving you guys out to stray. We got DJ in the YouTube saying the SeatGeek code's not working. Try Bookit 10, Bookit 10, no spaces. Let me know. And if you've already used a Bookit code before, like if you used the Bookit one before, I don't know if this one works for you, so that could be it, DJ. Jay DeGoomba coming in, no V8s at the game. No, I did not see any V8s. I did not see any V8s.
Pretty soft.
Yeah. We got Riley Brass in the YouTube. Jovan, remember when I said preseason to save your money if you bet Virginia? Ooh,
Yeah.
He's showing those receipts.
100%.
Sure.
Brass
Please
was
tell me they
big
didn't make
time
the tournament.
ACC hater. Yes, they did not make the tournament. The preseason number 1 and number 2 both did not make the tournament, Krabs.
That's fucking nuts. The
Yeah.
Aggies
Yeah, the Aggies and the Who's.
and the Cavs.
Yeah,
It's unacceptable.
it's crazy. Texas A&M fans are in just shambles. They've had a hell of a year. Their football team, all the hype in the world. They bring back the Texas rivalry. They lose. They're rat shit. Baseball team, preseason number 1, doesn't even make the tournament. Buzz Williams leaves after a disappointing end of the season. It's been a year for the Aggies.
Yep.
It's the perfect SEC season of all the hype for nothing in every sport.
Well, hold on now. Let's not let the Who's.
Don't leave softball out too. Yeah, they're a number one seed that didn't even make it to a super regional. Didn't make it out of their own region.
That's nuts. I couldn't care less though. I just want to make fun of the Who's. If we're being honest here, let's not let them get out of this one though. I mean, Jovan, that's one of their bread and butter sports. You got basketball. No more Tony Bennett. That could be tough. Although, to be honest with you, I like some of the things they're doing right now. I like some of the pieces they brought in. I like this VCU coach they got. All jokes aside, I'm kind of pissed to see that they got him. But look, they got basketball, they got academics, and they got fucking college baseball. Basketball is already on the fence right now. They're wavering. College baseball, they were ranked number 2 to start the fucking season. They don't even make the tournament. What a joke. Are things falling apart down there in Charlottesville, Jovan? It's starting to look like it.
A little bit. They'll get it together, though. They'll get it together.
I'm sure they will. They have a generational college baseball program. They got guys going to the league every single year. I'm sure they'll reload, right? But almost brings one happy singular tear to my eye hearing the Cavs not making the tournament. That's beautiful. Music to my ears. Hell yeah.
Yeah, you're going to have to find some rooting interest in the tournament because, no UVA hate, no Hokie slurp. You got to find somewhere to go.
Yeah, what do we do?
Could be the Frogs back against the wall, robbed of
I'm down to ride with
hosting
the
a
Frogs.
regional.
Yeah.
They got a chip on their shoulder now. So there is the Big 12 got 8 teams in the tournament, Krabs, and didn't get a host, which is nuts.
Wow.
Like out of the 16.
That's crazy.
It's ridiculous. It's just all the SEC teams.
Yeah, they're that good, I guess. Did Mizzou end up making the tournament? No way.
They're like one of the worst college baseball teams of all time, Krabs. They went 0-for in conference play, except the weekend they swept Texas A&M.
Wow, those are their only wins. Super
only
weird.
wins in conference.
Were they the only team in the SEC not to make the tournament?
No. I'm trying to think of how many didn't off the top of my head.
There couldn't be many though, right?
Well, there's never many. Kentucky shouldn't have made the tournament either, which is a different conversation. Wow. Yeah, they did, and they weren't even like last 4 in, which I thought was incredibly absurd. There was a couple of the Big 12 teams that also probably shouldn't have made it in, like Arizona State, probably.
3 did not.
Mississippi State.
Gents Club.
Mississippi State was the one I was forgetting. Didn't make it in. But yeah, those 3.
Okay. All right, dude. Swinging around. I got another straight bet for the peeps. We'll reel it back in here. I'm sure we'll talk a little bit more college baseball before we get to the tournaments. When does it start up, Jovan? Do you know? Wow, we got some time. We got PLL starting up on Friday. We've got college baseball tournament starting up on Friday. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
We're going to have to talk about that later this week.
Early, too.
Ooh. Sign me up. Early college baseball games throughout the day?
Yeah, it's like March Madness. Games start at the beginning of the day and roll throughout.
Hell yeah. Hell yes. Love to hear it. All right, let's keep moving and grooving. I've got a nasty first 5 under. I saw somebody in the chat on Twitch asking about another under on the diamond. We'll get to that in a moment here. For now, let's talk about our favorite plays. I got the first 5 under 4.5 in Cincy and Kansas City. Look, look, you got a couple different angles going on here in this game. Pretty weird. You've got Brady Singer revenge game against the Royals, and he has not been great. Although he's shown flashes of late of being his vintage self, but we'll see if we get that fully back today. Honestly, against his former team, this could be the time we get vintage Brady Singer, who goes out there and shoves. And looking at some of his prize pick squares, it's kind of making it seem like he's going to go out there and have a fucking day today, if I'm being completely honest with you. So we got Brady Singer revenge game legacies. That certainly helps the first 5 under. And then you look at what's going on the other sides. I mean, you've got Lynch, who does not go more than 2 innings typically, but he's been pretty solid so far this season as an extended opener for the Royals. So I'm going to trust him to go out there and do job for 2 innings and just hold my breath and pray that whoever the Royals put in afterwards does not blow this first 5 under. And it certainly could. That's the one thing I'm worried about. But I love this first 5 under a ton. I think Brady Singer goes out there and gives us 5 scoreless innings. Lynch gives us 2. Maybe whoever comes in out of the bullpen for Kansas City gives up a couple to the Reds, in the 3rd, 4th, or 5th. But let's hope it's less than 4.5. And we're in business here in this spot. I love that this game yesterday soared over as well, 7-4 in that matchup. So I want to go ahead and fade runs. I also like seeing that Nerfy square up there on Prize Picks, Jovan, after we saw a Yerfy cash and a bunch of runs in that game last night, same series. Today, you got 2 crummy pitchers on the bump, and they got that Nerfy square. It looks like a free Yerfy to me after a Yerfy cashed yesterday and a bunch of runs in that game yesterday. That's a great sign for no runs early on, at least in the first inning, and we just got to hold on for the next 4. I like our spots. I like seeing on some of the faster moving books, they have a super juicy under 4.5, but some of the other books are still sitting at -110. So anywhere from -110 to -130 on some of the sharper books, it's moving in the right direction, in my opinion. Fuck the CLV. I want to see that puppy keep moving down. I want to see a 4 pop up. I wouldn't give a shit. That'd be a great sign, especially with these starting pitchers on the bump. So we'll back them to go out there and overperform, overexceed expectations. Give me the first 5 under 4.5.
Sure. I'm with you. I thought it was kind of crazy that they flipped to like -120 with a bullpen game, which if that means any confidence in the Royals or backing of the Royals probably has to mean Lynch and the rest of the bullpen has to be pretty lights out. I don't think the path to winning that game is going to be from them just destroying Brady Singer.
Okay. Yeah, thought about taking the full game under, which I feel like we're going to start seeing some 8s popping up here soon. Great sign for no runs. Just got to hold our breath with this one. It does not look like a great play on the surface, but that's how I know it's a winner. It's nasty. And after a bunch of runs yesterday, let's fade the offenses early on in this one. Certainly weird. The Royals are up to -120 when this opened up, pretty much a pick 'em with it being a bullpen game. That does give me some hope for the Royals bullpen that's typically, pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's a good sign for this first 5 under because we know Lynch is probably only going 2. All right. W play, if you don't mind swinging around. Jovan's got one more play to sell here. Talk about the Cardinals. What do you like about them?
Yeah, the Red Hot O's after 3 straight wins. I'm actually sure, Goots. Actually sure. And the good part, I guess, is the fact that I don't love to get involved when Palante's in the fold because he's a difficult pitcher to figure out. He's kind of shuds every time out, except last time when it seemed like for one of the only times maybe ever, nobody was really fading him. And what do you know? He comes out and has a pretty bad start, especially for his standards of what he's done so far this year. So now he's back on the bump facing the O's after 3 straight wins, and you have Sagano on the other side of the bump, which I don't know. It's a weird matchup in a good way for the Cardinals because you think about like their entire lineup, whether it starts with Nootbaar, whether it starts with like Donovan, whether it starts with Arenado. A lot of those guys are just, first of all, like pretty solid off-speed hitters, but also really good hitters at the bottom of the zone. Pretty much the entirety of the lineup, if you only attack them at the bottom of the zone, they are lights out and they will demolish you. And that's kind of in their track record for multiple years now, but like especially this year. Sagano, primary pitch splitter, essentially, which he uses that a ton. Pitchers that use that as their primary. It never works out in the long term, but especially when you're facing a lineup like this. So I think the lineup's coming out to play against the O's, but also this lineup right now is they're seeing the ball a lot better and they're being super aggressive, it seems. And against a pitcher like Palante, this kind of veteran, crafty arm, I don't think that's going to work, especially being that some of your hitters or some of your hottest hitters right now are guys like Jackson Holliday, who've been super aggressive at the plate, and they're young and probably a little more aggressive than you want to be against Palante. So I don't think that works against them. So I'm glad that, the line's starting to move towards the Cardinals, which it's one of the rare instances where like I would look at the game and the line would be moving towards the O's. It would like look like the classic let's fade Palante spot, but I think the streak is stopping here for the O's. Hashtag thank you, Goots.
I hate the play so much. Maybe that's a good thing
Be
because it
good.
involves the Orioles. And honestly,
right,
it could be the difference.
You've got one that I don't know if I'm on the same page with from the squares. You can talk about.
Oh no, that's not good. Oh, I know which one it is. Okay, well that's not
you
really
should know what
surprising.
it is.
Okay, yeah, fading Goots' O's. Hashtag thank you Goots. Hashtag the streak ends tonight.
If we make the playoffs, I'll remember this day.
Well, if you make the playoffs, I'd remember 100 other things besides this combo, but you do you, Goots. Goots, if the Orioles make the playoffs, will you try to do a cartwheel on camera in the studio?
I would if we won a playoff game. Yes.
If the Orioles win a playoff game
Win a
this year,
singular playoff game, yeah.
I mean, dude, we're talking
the
about
Orioles
playoffs
somehow
right
win a
now.
playoff
It'll
game.
be the worst
I
cartwheel of all
know.
time, but I'll do it.
Dude,
I know
they're
they're not gonna
19 and
make it.
34.
Hey,
What are we talking about playoffs right now for?
You said it yourself. Oh, well, we're kind of. Never mind. May's almost over, but easiest schedule in the league in May. So yeah, but
I know
Well,
that.
well,
but
they
it's
blew
just like
Charlie, good start yesterday. Maybe he can build off that. You never know.
he did have a good start yesterday.
We got guys coming back.
did.
Hauser's rehab assignment, Westberg's rehab assignment.
Westberg's
All-Star
good.
breaks over. We'll have some guys coming back. You never know.
Hey,
Never say never.
the Nats were 19 and 32. The year they won the World Series.
Exactly.
Records don't mean shit right now.
The O's
Yeah,
are,
lads, he could not be more delusional. Yes.
the O's are 2 touchdowns back in the
I
division.
also want it to be known that first day in Colorado, we're sitting next to Yankees fans, and they're chirping the O's, and Krabs is just backing them. He's like, "They're right. They're right. The O's suck." I'm like, "Can I have some backup here?"
I mean, Gates.
These are
What do you
two
want him to
guys-
say?
This is a couple, and Aaron Judge jerseys, and Krabs is like, "Yep, they're right." Like,
I
okay.
mean, Gates, they were roasting you. They were
Like,
talking
yep.
about how the O's never make the playoffs or they never win games.
And then you're like, "All right, let's just go be friends with them."
And all Goots kept saying was, well, what's Aaron Judge's batting average like in the playoffs? And it was just so awkward.
It's a pretty good comeback. Not gonna lie.
Yep.
Oh, man. They weren't wrong, chat. They weren't wrong. And it was kind of funny. One guy chirped me because I came back, obviously, after Judge hit the home run night one, said, hey, can you mind going up, get another beer during his next at bat? And I was like, dude, fuck you. I'm not leaving again. If I get up again, he's hitting another nuke. All right, swinging around here, Goots. I think I got one more straight bet here for the peeps. Let's go to the ice. How about Dallas hockey?
Dallas
How about the
hockey.
Stars?
Where's Prime, man?
Where's Prime when you need him? This series is already done. Jovan already kind of addressed it, right? Why play the game? Why play the game and risk injury, pain, suffering, trauma for the losing squads? Why play the game? Why play the next couple? Just end the series, right? It's 2-1. For some reason, that means that the series is over, like everybody's acting, and Dallas has no fucking shot after losing back-to-back games, after winning game one of this series. Jovan, the louder you hear those chirps, the more you got to lock in and bet the dog. It's a tale as old as time. We're not reinventing the wheel here. We are listening. We are being perceptive. We are noticing the markets, the sports bettors. The majority of them think this series is done. And look, maybe Edmonton ends up winning the series, but I'll tell you what. This Dallas team's got some fight. They got some heart. I like what I'm seeing. I'm no hockey sharp. Although the bets honestly go pretty well on the ice, knock on wood. They probably won't now after saying that. But Jovan, I'm no hockey sharp, but I have seen enough out of this Dallas Stars team this season. And now that they're healthy, I think they got some fight in them left. I really do. On the road, plus 130, kind of gives me the same vibes last night as the Canes. I know they're not, their backs aren't as against the wall as the Canes, who were down 3-0, but this is a big-time game for Dallas. They lose this one, they could probably kiss their Stanley Cup hopes goodbye. But Jovan, I did not hear no bell. I will take the Dallas Stars here on the ML. After back-to-back losses, they keep their season alive. They tie up the series, and we go from there. But the way people are acting, no need to play the game on the ice tonight. No need to risk injury. It's already done. Edmonton's already won the cup, let alone win the series. Smells like the perfect time to fade.
So it was the perfect time to fade. I'm with you. And I do think the Oilers still win the series. And I said that from the jump, but not in the same it's completely over camp, I guess, as everybody else. After, to be honest with you, as bad as they looked at times, especially like in the back, and like Adi looked horrible at times in game 3, it wasn't as, I guess, disparate as the spread of the game would probably make you think if you're just box score watching. Like offensively, I guess that was some of the best chance generation that I think the Stars have had in any losing effort, like so far in the playoffs. Obviously, when you're down a bunch of goals, you're going to be pressing. Teams are going to be sitting back, so like that happens. But they were a little more impressive, I think, in a 5-goal deficit, and I think you would say for a lot of teams so far. So I do think that carries over, and they're going to need to, especially like you're in Edmonton, Skinner's standing on his head. You're going to have to throw pucks on him early and often. So like they're going to come out aggressive. It's the nature of the playoffs, nature of the game. But I think it's going to work today, frankly. And I'm a little shocked that, to be honest with you, the line's starting to tick back towards the Stars because especially in this playoffs, teams that are at home in this exact scenario have been getting steamed to hell every single time you see it. So like now, Stars on the road, yeah, we're in the conference finals, but starting to get a little bit of money. Line's starting to tick down their way, which can't say you've seen too often.
Pega, is Fruity on Edmonton tonight? That's not ideal, if that's the case. He has been on an absolute heater, like Alex is saying in the chat. Yes, you are correct. And Pega, if you think I just went onto his page and faded his play, you're unfortunately incorrect. I did not peep his plays earlier today, but that is not a great sign. Although he's literally the hottest bettor on earth, so maybe he's due to drop one, but he keeps fucking hitting PODs. He keeps hitting plays on the ice. That is not ideal. Shit. Yes, Alex, you're right there, man. Shout out Fruity. He has been on fucking fire on the ice. PODs. He's been dropping like 2 plays per game in this economy in the Big 2-5. He's red hot, and the Prize Pick squares. Hasn't even posted. Okay. Well, then how do we know? He's fucking fading him, Pega. Shit. Give me the Stars. I just got startled for no reason. A couple other squares up there that we didn't mention in this game, Jovan. I know they've been putting up these goals allowed squares in every game the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
I get it. But it reminds me of last night seeing Stuart Skinner and that 2.5 goals allowed when he's been absolute nails in this series overall besides that one game. The last 2, he's only given up 1 goal total in those last 2 games, and he's got a goblin goals allowed. And I know it's because the odds on the books. I get it. But it's still a great sign, and I saw the same thing last night for the Canes game. Their opposing goalie, read it out chart, still a goblin, goals allowed. Could be a great sign again tonight, I hope.
Yeah, it could be a huge sign. They do put them up and like they're the same squares every time, but they pick and choose their games. So it is definitely really interesting that out of a couple of the games in the series that like this is the one where you're seeing a goals allowed square, which is interesting.
W. Zach the Demon coming in hot, resubbing as well for 6 months. Let's go, fellas. Let's go, Zach. W. Zach, we appreciate you, Beast. And Sade Whiteman. We already gassed you up at those 5 subbies. We appreciate you, Beast. Sure we can. All right. Let's keep moving and grooving. Let's get the straight bets out of here. Let's talk about some squares. Corbin Carroll, huh? Sure.
If you've seen the run that he's on recently, Krabs, it's been horrid. Some of the worst baseball he's played all season. He's been a lot colder last week than like even Tatis, which is saying much or saying a lot. But now he gets to face the rat shit Jolly, and the square that immediately brought this to my attention for Corbin Carroll, which I don't know if Trent's in here lurking or whatever, but 2.5 hit run RBIs outside of Coors are odd pretty much anytime you see them outside of Coors, and I guess like you can loop Sacramento into this by now, but even for the Goats, like outside of Coors, big red flag, especially when you look at Corbin Carroll and how bad he's been recently, which, again, I think the matchup kind of serves all for him. The fact that you get Burrows, who, in my opinion, and I probably would have said this before, he had a rough outing in his debut, but Burrows is just another one of those Mlodzinski, like, not so much starter, like, experiments gone wrong, but another one of these just overrated prospect pitchers that the Pirates bring up and are not really good in reality. And you saw that with all the barrels he allowed the first time, but he lives in the strike zone. That's really bad for this entire D-backs lineup, but it's especially bad for guys like Corbin Carroll, which he's been chasing a a lot recently, which has been why he's so bad. But
Mm.
now you're going to see a lot in the strike zone. There's a 2.5 regular HRR outside of cores for a guy who has been cold as ice. This reminds me of, I guess, Junior when I took his TBs when I went to the game the other day. It's just a guy that gets the perfect matchup to snap his little streak. So I think he does tonight, which is huge. Then Freddie. It's probably the most super goat activity you'll see on my two squares for almost the entirety of the season. Corbin Carroll's been super cold. Freddie, as of the last couple games, is definitely not. But it's the same thing I said about like the course of Bybee in the game, and I know you agree in some fashion, looking at your other square. But for a guy who's super fastball heavy and lives in the zone, like by name and by numbers, I guess Ohtani is the best hitter in this lineup by far. But when I think about a guy who you do not want to live with like a single approach in the strike zone with your fastball against in this entire lineup, it's Freddie Freeman. Like you see Mookie and Shohei get overpowered at times by these fastballs and just look a little behind them. And of course, like the ceiling is a lot higher for Shohei. But if there's one guy who I think I look at the top of that lineup and I have to beat in more ways than one, it's Freddie Freeman. So like for Bybee, who's coming off of the gem, I think he's going to pitch poorly. Frankly, if he had a fantasy score that I could fade, his less than would probably be on here instead. But this is the guy I'd be the most worried about if I'm him in this lineup, because if you come in with one single fastball approach, and technically it's not one because he has cutter sinker that he throws, but it's a fastball against Freddie Freeman, and he's able to jump on that, that is horrid setup for this lineup. And obviously I think they're going to score runs and he's going to be all involved in the process, but he's the guy that I wanted to pick for the Dodgers.
Okay. I know he's been hot the last couple games, but it's not like he's been hot for a couple weeks. I think he's one of the better hitters in the game. You're picking a good spot to buy low-ish on Freddie. Corbin Carroll, you are buying the lowest you're probably going to buy all season. So although you got some goats up there, you picked your spots. I'm in. Okay?
Sure.
I did lock in these sharp report 4-man. I just locked that puppy in as Jovan was giving his sell jobs. If you guys want a tail, I will drop the link in the Twitch chat. Get involved. Okay? There it is. Boom. Get involved. The link has been dropped. All right. Let's keep moving and grooving. Gootsy, flip it around. I'm going to talk to the peeps about my two squares that are up there on Prize Picks as we get a subby coming in from OG Sour at a babe. At a babe. At a babe. All right. I'm a little bit blown because I am seeing Tanner Bybee is now down to 17 on his pitching outs. That's quail shit. It's probably going to either push or turn green. So it's not going to lose, and it's not like what?
I was going to say for him, like in this game, I think you're either not even getting to the 6th, or if he does end up going over, which I agree with you, I don't think so. Like he'll be green, it'll be free, but I think this is like a probably not going to be close one way or the other scenario.
Could not agree more. Right? I think he either goes out there and says, fuck all these sharp squares and just dominates and it's not going to matter, or what we think is going to happen, and it's that he gets pulled in this game in the 5th inning because he's walking people, because he's giving up Turks left and right. Hopefully Freddie Freeman's getting involved as we get another subby coming in from OG Sour for the peeps. To Peak Sour. Okay. That might be his cousin or brother. Who knows? OG Sour blessing up Peak Sour. Got to stick together, boys. W's. Okay. Yeah, B. Armin. BA Sports. We'll talk about that in a second. Tanner Bybee, less than pitching outs. It's at 17 now. Jovan, I mean, it worries me a little bit because we know how those bumps go with some of the pitching out squares. Typically, they are pretty meaningful, but I do agree with you where, you know, on paper, he's either getting pulled in the 5th inning or shit, maybe even the 4th, or he's just going to be in there and shoving. So it might not even matter, hopefully. But yeah, taking his less than pitching outs, it already looked like a very weird chart. And now that it got bumped down, it's actually even weirder. The guy's been, you know, pitching 6 innings like it's his job, sometimes 7. He's coming off of 21 outs in that last start against a good Tigers lineup. So that's weird. I also thought that his walks allowed being up there for 1.5 goblins was super weird looking at the charts. And then I went to go check the books and I saw that he's minus 200 to walk 2 guys. I know he's facing the Dodgers. That could be part of the game plan, just like it was for, I'm blanking on who was on the bump last night for the Guardians, but he was walking people left and right. I think he had 6 walks yesterday.
Gavin, right?
For Gavin Williams. He had I don't know if it was a career high or season high, but he had like 6 walks in that game. So maybe that's just the game plan a little bit for the guards in this series, and I wouldn't blame them. Pitch around, nibble a little bit more against this Dodgers team that has some veterans who are great hitters, but they are known to strike out a time or two. So try to get them to nibble a little bit. Did not work too well last night, but I would not be shocked if that ends up being the game plan for Tanner Bybee again tonight. I just think it's absolutely crazy seeing the odds at minus 200 for him to walk 2 guys. He's only walked 2 guys combined in the last 3 outings. He's only walked 4 guys in his last 5 starts combined, and he's minus 200 to walk 2 dudes. That tells me he's probably walking more than 2 dudes, and that tells me that his pitch count's going to be pretty high, and he's not going to be able to go deep into this game. And that tells me that his less than pitching outs is probably a pretty good look. Love that square.
Sure.
The Mitchell Parker one might take a little bit more selling. I know you don't love it.
A little bit.
I know it reminds you a little bit of, back in Trevor Williams and taking his less than, earned runs allowed. But I will say this, Trevor Williams is a dog shit pitcher, and Mitchell Parker at least has some hope. He's got some hope. Maybe not a ton, but a little bit. I still believe in the kid. I believe in the lefty. And looking at his charts, I mean, it might be in the benefit of the people to see the chart, to be honest with you. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. The guy's been giving up runs left and right like it's his job. Let's not forget, he had like a 1 ERA through the first month of the season or so, and it's all been crashing down. On Mitchell Parker of late, they're overusing his arm. But, tonight in a pitcher's park could be the difference. Back in Mitchell Parker, who, by the way, with how bad he's been, I thought it was pretty weird seeing his under 2.5 on the books at minus 130. Super weird. Mitchell Parker, less than 2.5 earned runs allowed in a game where the total's not even that low. And the Nats are certainly not catching steam. We're actually seeing Seattle catch about 10 cents of steam. Something's not adding up here. And I want to get involved and find out why.
Yeah. I'm a little concerned for this one, Krabs. A little concerned. I'm not going to lie to you.
We'll see. Only one way to find out.
Yeah. I'll be there with you, rooting for it in the 4-man.
I think it's green as ma, but we will see. We get a good old-fashioned Mitchell Parker gem. Big Cheesy says, I can't do it, Krabs. Not a fan of the Parker square. That's okay, Big Cheesy. I'm not going to lose any sleep. You do what you got to do, my man. Do what makes you happy. Do what makes you rich. Okay? Speaking of Nats shit squares. Speaking of the Nats, before we get to the Dinger Tuesday plays here real quick, I got a bitch. I know part of the reason why I don't like this Mitchell Parker square, Jovan, is because we recently took that Trevor Williams less than 2.5 earned runs allowed, and boy, was that a terrible square. What if I told you, Jovan? What if I told you that instead of getting back in the lab, instead of maybe working with the analytics team that I don't even know if we have, to be honest with you, because people consistently make fun of the Nats in their analytics department, instead of maybe working in the bullpen, right? Like we saw in the Rockies series, we saw Yankees out there throwing bullpen sessions 2 hours before the game working on their craft. Instead of working on his craft, what is Trevor Williams doing, Jovan, in the Big 2-5? Oh, he's got a book club started up in the Nats locker room. Yep. This report came out earlier today. And I believe another MLB reporter was roasting the Nats last night. I forget who it was, but I'm sure somebody in chat can tell me. Somebody was letting the Nats org, Mike Rizzo, have it. One of the MLB beat reporters. And then this shit comes out from a Nats beat reporter earlier this morning. This is the shit I'm talking about. The Nats are just scraping by trying to get back to 500. And we got Trevor Williams starting a fucking book club reading The Hobbit and reading The Lord of the fucking Rings, man. What are we doing? Like, legitimately, what are we doing? Those are 600-page novels.
What if it's a good thing, Krabs?
What if it's a good... This is not new. They've been doing this all season.
I'm just saying. I remember... you probably want to forget, but seeing the A.J. Brown on the sidelines of the NFC Championship reading the book.
Oh, yeah. Well, was
30.
A.J. Brown a 42-year-old washed-up starting pitcher who likes to fucking, I don't know, rub off on the other young players on the team in a negative way? No.
Well, no. But who's to say this isn't helping like the other guys? I don't know who the rest of the Nats in the clubhouse are that are reading.
I am saying it. I am saying it's not helping the other guys. Have you seen their fucking pitchers this season? I'm saying.
Is it confirmed, like just the pitchers?
Yeah, it's a pitcher Nats book club going on that Trevor Williams started. And instead of him trying to work on his craft, get better, help out the team that's paying him millions of dollars,
Whoa.
he's kicking the feet up. He's saying, hey, round it up, boys. Bring those chairs up here. Let's circle up here in the fucking dugout. And let's talk about Chapter 13. What the fuck are we doing, dudes?
Let me ask you, though. Would you rather them have a book
Oh.
club, or would you rather them be at the casino until 5 a.m.?
Well, we've already done that. And that didn't work. So probably the former. Probably the book club over the casino. Right? Shout out that man Cran for the subby. Sure we can. Jovan, a fucking book club, man, in the big 2-5 while we're trying to scrape back to 500. Trevor Williams couldn't even get out of the fourth inning in his last outing, and he's rounding up the troops to talk about Chapter 7 in the fucking Lord of the Rings, book number 7 out of 100. What are we doing?
What if they switch places? They say position players go ahead and start a book club, and pitchers go out and put 5,000 on black middle of the morning.
Krabs, I have a question.
What do you got, Goots?
You betting on Mitchell Parker less than their runs while you're bitching about this?
Yes.
Okay.
That's not a question. That's a statement, but yes.
Okay. I'm just wondering.
How do you feel that Mitchell Parker is literally in Chapter 7 of Lord of the Rings instead of stretching and getting loose right now?
Hey, Mitchell Parker, you want to head to the ballpark a little early today and maybe work on some of the command issues? Sorry, Coach, I can't. I'm balls deep in Chapter 7 in Lord of the Rings. This is the kind of shit I'm talking about. Hey, Trevor Williams, you have a 6.39 ERA. You could not get out of the fourth inning in that last game against the Braves, and it cost us a fucking win. And you're out here passing books around in the fucking locker room, man. What are we doing?
Really bad.
This is the last thing they should be doing. Go out there and fucking practice. Call up Jim Hickey before 8 p.m. because you know he's fucking asleep after that. The guy's 90 years old. Call him up before 8 p.m. Talk about your fucking approach up there on the mounds. Do anything else. Do something baseball related. Get better at your craft. I don't need to be seeing when the Nats are fucking 4 games under 500, Jovan. I don't need to be getting notice on my phone from the Nats beat reporter talking about fucking book clubs in the locker room. What are we doing? I'm all for reading a good book in the off season when your fucking feet are in the sands and you don't have a baseball game to worry about. Sure. I'm all in for cracking open a good book. Mid-season when you got a 6 ERA, fucking lock in, buddy. Put the books down. Grab a baseball. Hit the fucking treadmill, Trevor.
How are we complaining about the pitchers doing this and taking Parker less than earned runs?
Could be the difference.
This is what I'm talking about, Krabs.
Pega Brad Lord didn't start book clubs. He worked at Home Depot only 4 months ago. He's just happy to be here. He's not out there starting clubs. He's worried about his fucking pitches. Gratitude. Why don't we talk about some Digger Tuesday plays?
Yeah, let's do that.
We'll circle back next week. I'll let you know what fucking book the Nats are reading. Unbelievable, dude.
It's unbelievable, man.
5 games
That's
under 500.
really
People are calling for your coach's head, your GM's head. They're saying, get the veterans off this squad. Call up all the young guys. Well, I got something that can help. How about a book club? Oh, shit rubs me the wrong way. Jovan, why don't you get us started off here? Francisco Lindor.
Yeah.
Why is he in the
Francisco
nuke?
Lindor. I wanted to take him after he's been, I don't know, somewhat ice cold, even though he's like in the not quite Will Benson category, but like Will Benson had a couple of games where he's just demolishing the ball with no results. Lindor hasn't quite been like that consistent in doing it, but similar things have happened, including like his walk-off that was hit to the track and probably 5 feet from a grand slam. So he's seeing the ball well, and now you get Cannon, who allows a ton of barrels. So when you're talking about guys that have been a little unlucky and you get to face a guy that gives up a lot of hard hits, especially to this handedness, I want to take him. Definitely helps that he also sold the entire world. It seems like yesterday he was one of those popular dinger plays for all the lotto cappers on Twitter. So day after theory, still alive and well. I think the Nets are going to score some runs off of Cannon today. And I've seen a lot of Pete, a lot of Soto. Wanted to go Lindor. He seems like the forgotten one of the three.
Yep.
So, man.
Okay. Well, I counter with a Juan Soto, same team, different Geyserman. Home run, take care. Juan Soto is going to start hitting nukes every game. Maybe it starts today. Maybe it starts next week. I don't know, but it's coming. I see it. I feel it. It's on the way. He's getting close. He's not there yet. But as a guy who's watched probably more Juan Soto at bats than anybody else, all 8 billion on planet Earth, yep, I'm probably that guy. It's starting to look better at the dish. He's not there yet. He's not shuffling yet. He still looks like he's getting out in front a little bit. He needs to keep the weight back. He's standing up a little bit too much at the dish. He's got to get a little lower and start getting some Soto shuffles involved. But he's getting close, Jovan. And he's had a couple warning track shots of late. Hasn't hit a home run in a couple games, though. But he's getting some line respect today. I mean, obviously against the Mooshit team. But I'm going with Soto. Is my Mets. Hey, hopefully we smack one of these and maybe even two. It is against the rat shit White Sox. Who knows, right? But Juan Soto is my guy on the Mets today, and I'm seeing some Mets runs in this game. Plus 400. I'll go with Juan Soto. He's going to start impressing some people, turning some heads. Let's hope it starts tonight.
Sure. Why not? Taking a Newport Krabs, your guy, sneak Krabs guy.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the guys that I wanted to pick out against Sagano today because, like I talked about, the whole lineup, they're all really good off-speed hitters down in the zone, which is what Sagano lives off of. And Newport especially is taking a big uptick this season. I mean, he's hitting all this classified as like changeups because it's a splitter, but you haven't seen that nearly as much. But like it's changeups hitting 350, and he's hitting a lot of those very hard and in the air. So like when you're going to see a bunch of that today, probably from the outset, I assume he's going to be leading off or at the very least in the 2-hole. I think he's going to get the party started real damn quickly. And when he's seeing beach balls and has one of those games where he has a really, really good matchup, you can kind of tell because you either go to 0 for in a game, which I think he did yesterday, or he's seeing the ball really, really well and stacking up a game with multiple hits, multiple hard hit balls, especially pulling them in the air. So I feel like this is one of those games. And I think this is probably the best matchup pitch mix wise he's going to get for the entirety of the series. So I think it shows today.
Lars fucking.
Here we go.
All right. Let me go Royce Lewis here. I'll save the best for last. Royce Lewis, a.k.a. Royce Bonds, who has, what, 1 home run this season, I believe? Poor Royce Lewis. The guy actually has glass bones. And, yeah, he's got 1 nuke this season. It was back like 10 days ago against the Brew Crew. And, look, it's been a tough season so far for Royce Lewis. He's missed a bunch of games. What else is new? But, unfortunately, what's different this season in the Big 2-5, he's not just missing games, Jovan. The games that he's playing in, he's playing like dog shit. Typically, that's been, the difference is that when you do get 80 games out of Royce Lewis, he's hitting nukes, he's hitting 250, and, he's one of the better offensive pieces in the game. He just can't stay healthy. Well, he's been pretty bad, and he's got a crazy-looking hits, runs, RBI square up there on Prize Picks that is almost completely red at 1.5. It's making me think he goes nuclear tonight. I think he hits a nukes Q. I think he does what Judge couldn't do on Sunday, and that's hit a Nukenheimer. Plus 400, some of the shortest odds in the game. I'm loving the Twins in this game. I think they get a big-time win, but instead of backing them on the ML and fading the Rays again, I'll just back Royce Lewis to hit his 2nd home run of the season, get the party started, bring the vibes up. Certainly he needs it. He has been struggling like no other. The guy's hitting a $148. Well, he turns it around tonight, hits his 2nd home run of the season. Looking at the odds, the respect he's getting, I do think it's going to be tonight against your Rays, unfortunately.
Probably is. And I'll make sure to send you the video from the stadium when he does it. You got
boots on ground.
Turkey Taj on the mound. Yeah, we'll be there.
Yes.
We'll be there and
Big
active.
Sharp Taj Bradley.
Yep. Always is and has a big-time home run problem. So I'm sure, especially today, because I think it's going to be hot as hell in that game. And wind like slightly blowing out, which in Steinbrenner, because there's no upper deck, makes like a big difference every single mile an hour. It's probably going to be some turkeys, kind of like runs in that game. And when Taj is on the mound against a team that definitely has a little bit of power, that hurts. So it's going to be somebody up there.
I'm hoping it's my guy, Royce Bonds. We'll see.
Yeah.
You got Corbin Carroll involved? Sure you can.
Yeah. Couldn't live without keeping him on there. So, I mean, I've already pretty much sold it. Burrows stinks. Corbin Carroll's also stunk as of late, but what better of a matchup than a guy who lives in the zone against a guy who He's had a real problem chasing lately. I don't think you're going to have to chase today. I think there's going to be runs from the Snakes in this game. I think he's going to start, get involved or start it off pretty quickly, just like I guess all three of the guys I think are hitting lead off on my Dinger Tuesday sheet here. So probably hoping one of them gets the game started with the top of the first or bottom of the first nuke. But Corbin Carroll, I could not keep him off here. Especially he's been a sneak Dinger Tuesday goat. He's like, I don't know, not quite Josh Naylor level from Goots last year, but he's been hitting them, and I've been noticing. So maybe this is the perfect time for him to break the slump.
I hope so. Corbin Carroll, get up and moving for our prize picks lineups tonight. For Jovan Stinger Tuesday plays, hit one over the fence. We know he's done that plenty of times so far this season. Just haven't seen it in about a week. All right.
Still
Corbin
cannot believe that 2.5 HRR square. It's insane.
Yeah, it's a crazy looking one.
It's wild.
He's got a plethora of squares up there today. He's got too many.
Just somewhat to be expected against Burrows, but the streak he's on feels pretty telling.
Okay. Max Muncy's hitting the nuke tonight.
Max
Should help out your over. Yep. Max Muncy has only hit, 3 home runs so far this season. Last one he hit on May 15th. It's been, almost 2 weeks since that last home run, and he's coming off a pretty bad game. He had an RBI last night, but had 2 strikeouts, did not get a hit. Before that, though, he was starting to pick it up a hair. Starting to look a little bit better, have some better at-bats up there at the dish. Max Muncy, ever since he got those specs, people forget he literally has glasses now that he rocks. He couldn't see shit in the beginning of the season. Ever since he's got those specs, he's looked a lot better up there at the dish. And I'll be honest, Jovan, I was pretty surprised to see him having shorter odds than Freddie Freeman, Teoscar Hernandez, Andy Pages to hit a nuke. And he's got a good matchup going today, but Max Muncy in the big 2-5, second shortest odds in the game to hit a home run right behind Shohei. Something looks off here. Looks pretty telling. And I know Max Muncy is starting to hit better of late. And I know there's a lot of runs potentially in this game with that total moving up to 9 that you like. I think Max Muncy has something to do with that. I think Max Muncy hits a fucking nuke tonight for the first time in about 2 weeks. I'll take him at plus 360 when he should be at plus 660. Crazy odds.
Could be the difference. I don't think it's going directly out to right, but I know there is some wind going out some way in that game too, which could certainly help really anyway, since it's not coming straight in. Muncy sends one to that little wind tunnel.
Max Muncy will take all the help we can get. Yep.
Yeah.
Certainly. Okay. All right, let's keep moving to grooving here. W Dinger Tuesday plays. Chat, we will post these puppies on the Bookit BTLX. Get involved. Okay? Dubs. Well, I wanted to maybe squeak in a TNT 2-piece, but I don't know if we're going to have time. I don't want to force it. I don't want to rush it. I feel like maybe we're better off spending some extra time on the squad ride, making sure we cash that puppy.
Yeah.
Okay. Gootsy, if you don't mind, why don't we run that puppy? I want to see that damn train. All right, chat. If you guys want a TNT 2-piece, let us know in the chat so we can craft one up after the show today. Okay, let me know if you guys want it. If not, no big deal. Okay? Need a W squad ride today? Yes, we do. I will. Yes, we do. The squad rides have been quail shit overall this month. We got to turn it around and finish the month of May strong, please. All right, let's have a big week this week. Jovan, I'm looking at some of our options for today. We got plenty of them. We got plenty of options, man.
We do.
We do. It's almost like we got too many options.
Too many options is crazy. What's your gut telling you first here? It's the first play that stands out to you.
Got Karsten coming in, dropping a resub. Sure we can, Karsten. W resub.
Good.
$50 bonus bet on this. No pressure. Okay, Unwell Gamer. A lot of pressure. Well, Jovan, I'm looking at some of these plays that we brought with us for the Sharp Report. I mean, I kind of like all my plays equally today. I'm not going to lie to you. We got your Dodgers over, which is looking at me funny. The Pacers ML, I like, don't love. Cardinals ML, I like, but it's fading the O's. That can't go well. Shit. Braves ML is probably a pretty good look.
Down for the Braves in there, for sure.
We trusting Strider.
Yep.
I will says I'm personally requesting the Cardinals. I don't know. I will. I don't know. All right, let's put the Braves in this puppy.
Really have no Cardinals?
I mean, you really think that's a smart move?
I mean, maybe, maybe not. I just think they're winning this game.
Sure. But is it a smart move getting the Orioles involved in the squad ride? Come on.
I mean, maybe it isn't, but we are fading them.
Chat really wants that play. Does that change your mind?
Do it.
I mean, we love fading you.
Go ahead and do it.
I think it's a terrible decision. I think if we do it, only bad things can happen. I think it's forced. I think we have other better plays on here.
Soft.
It's unbelievable.
I mean, Goots, bro. The squad ride is 4-9 this month, and we're out here.
What better way than just fade the O's? You know, that's free. That works all the time. You know.
All right.
See, I would just drop meat and put it in. I just don't want you not in on it. Doesn't really work.
Yeah, I thought we
Kinda
keep the
takes the
Orioles off
point.
to the sides.
Takes the point out.
You know? It's been free most of the season, Goots. You're not wrong, Big Cheesy. But in the midst of a win streak, is today the day that we fade them? And should we ever have the Orioles involved, whether we're fading or tailing them in the squad ride? Probably not. Probably not. If roles were reversed, we would have already nipped this in the bud.
Yeah. Oh, if we were backing the Orioles, this would have been nipped. Just put the Dodgers over in there.
I'm down to back runs. I'm down for the Dodgers over. It just squeaked over yesterday, and we're seeing a pretty good correction. Change in that total. Probably a better word, change from yesterday. Squeaked over. Now we're getting a 9 total. Jesus. Let's put that over in here.
Sure.
Dodgers guards over 9. Do we want to put the Pacers?
I mean, obviously,
How confident?
Very down. You just didn't seem like you're very in yourself.
Yeah, but I'd rather put that in here than fading the O's. I kind of like the Pacers.
Okay, let's do it then.
You feeling pretty confident?
Wouldn't be up here if I did not.
Okay. Let's put the Pacers in here. We got the Braves ML. We got the Dodgers guards over 9. And we've got the Pacers on the money line. If I didn't cash on that dog on the ice last night, I'd certainly be pushing harder for the Stars. I still kind of want to put him in there, though.
I won't tell you no.
I still kind of want to put him in.
I would
Stars
not tell you no.
Let's go 4 plays, 4 winners. You got 2 minutes to lock in your vote. Hurry up, go, go, go. 4 plays, 4 winners. You got the Braves on the money line, probably the best option. You got the Dodgers guards over 9. I mean, that's a great option as well. High total. Sure we can. We've got the Pacers on the money line, fading the Knicks. And then how about the Stars on the ice? On the money line, running back the dog. After last night, the dog came through on the ice. Sure we can. Let's see if they can make that 2 in a row. Get involved, chat. If you're asking yourself, where the hell is this poll? You're probably watching on YouTube. And that's fine. That's okay. That's cool. But for now, you got to make your way over to the Twitch chats and lock in your vote. You still got about a minute left to get involved. The poll is up in the Twitch chat. Okay, not on YouTube, but we appreciate all the YouTube chats, followers, subscribers. Okay, does not go unnoticed. But for now, you got to make your way over to the Twitch page. Okay, Groovy wants the TNT 2-piece in the YouTube chat. All right, we'll see if we can craft up one this afternoon. We got some time.
Yep.
People forget Krabs was slurping Trevor Williams for his preparation for games like a week ago. Yeah, the tables have turned. The tables have fucking turned.
The hardest table turns of all time.
I mean, book clubs, when the team's under 500, it's just not going to cut it. It's not going to
Can't have it.
Distractions, man. Distractions in the Big 2-5. Is it worse than C.J. Abrams leaving a casino on the road at 8 a.m. and people seeing him? No.
No.
Is it still rubbing the wrong way? Yes, it does. Krabs, are the Nationals too busy reading books to win tonight? No, after this rant, I'm sure they win, and they're probably free A+ chicken. So, but again, I will not be betting them. If you want to get involved, feel free. Okay? Get those votes in chat. You got about 1 second left. What's it going to be? How about the over in the Dodgers and the Guardians? Sure we can.
Chat didn't want to fade Mikey Overs, man. Unbelievable.
No, that's okay.
Unbelievable.
W. Madole, get those plays ready. WBTL today. We do have the surge starting up right now. So do me a favor, guys. Stick around. Get those sell jobs ready. And get ready to pitch Trent a winner for me today, okay? We appreciate you guys all. Squad ride is going to be the over in the Dodgers and Guardians. And we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Same time, same